In this session, we will cover job interview preparation, common questions, and follow-up. If you do a search online for interview preparation, the majority of links that come up lead you to long lists of interview questions, which can be overwhelming. It is really difficult to anticipate every possible question that an interviewer could ask. Here, instead, we will share the most effective ways to anticipate what will happen, prepare for an interview, and show up as a strong candidate for a job. Researching the company, the industry, the job, and the people who will interview you is one of the most effective ways to prepare for a job interview. Companies want candidates who are genuinely interested in what they do, so the time you spend getting to know the company will pay off nicely. You'll sound knowledgeable and interested during an interview. The knowledge you gain through research can also provide you with context or information for interview questions that would otherwise have caught you by surprise if you hadn't done this preparation. Companies invest a significant amount of time and money in their homepage and their LinkedIn page. Look there for clues about what is important to them. And if you notice repetition of certain key words or themes, such as teamwork or innovation, be ready to talk about how you have demonstrated those qualities at school or at work. Google, LinkedIn, and professional organizations can provide you with information about trends in the industry. A company's Twitter account will highlight honors, awards, accomplishments. Also, check Instagram. See what you can learn there about their services, their products, or events that are important to them. It's a good idea to have a list of all of your accomplishments in your own words to review when you're preparing for interviews. This can be any length. It can be as long and as inclusive as you want. Draw from your coursework, labs, projects, co-ops, jobs, volunteer work, clubs, or other activities that are on your resume or your LinkedIn profile. This is for your reference only. Now, why would you do this? Because interviewers often ask candidates to discuss past experience in terms of skills and abilities. For example, tell me about a time when you worked closely with a team. By reviewing your list prior to the interview, you will be warmed up and ready to answer these questions. In the time leading up to an interview, take out your list and, based on the job description and your research online, highlight the accomplishments that your interviewer probably will care most about. Remember to talk about your experience in a positive manner, but also be honest about your outcomes and results. There are lessons learned from every setback and failure, so be honest and highlight what you learned. Never misrepresent or exaggerate your work, which will get you into trouble when the company does their research on you or speaks with your references. Use the PAR method to describe examples of times you've utilized your skills and abilities. Name the project or the challenge that was at hand, describe the actions you took, and then the result or the outcome. Though we said it can be overwhelming and ineffective to go through lists of dozens or hundreds of interview questions, you should complement this preparation so far by being ready to answer this short list of common interview questions. Given that these are very common questions, you'll want to be ready with answers for all of them. If you have difficulty with any of these questions, work with your co-op and career advisor to get more comfortable with them. We will use these questions regularly to give you practice. There are also technical questions in an interview that are designed to either assess how well you know advanced technology, for example, coding, software, or mapping, or to uncover your problem-solving skills. See our handout at the Co-ops and Careers office or on our website about technical interviews to learn more. Be prepared with a list of at least 10 questions to ask the employer. Realistically, you won't have time for more than 3 or 4 questions, but have the extras ready in case your interviewers answer several of your questions over the course of the interview. You always want to have some questions in reserve for that moment when they will predictably ask, "Do you have any questions for us?" You can ask questions about the position, the company, and the industry that are not easily answered by viewing the company's website. Here are some examples. When you do your research about the company and the people you expect to meet with, more questions will naturally emerge. Do not ask about vacation and pay. Those questions come much later when you actually get the job offer. And do not ask personal questions, which can be misunderstood or considered inappropriate. Practice your answers to questions out loud multiple times because you'll relax with practice. Try video recording yourself to see if there are gestures or filler words that undermine your representation of yourself. Video interviews are becoming much more common, and we have a recommended resource to help you prepare here on this slide. You can also schedule a mock interview with your co-op and career advisor to get more practice. Just be certain not to practice saying certain exact words over and over again, because that will make you stiff. It will sound rehearsed when you're in an interview. Another important part of preparation before an interview is making sure that you have an appropriate outfit to wear and that everything fits properly and is in good condition. We have resources at the Co-ops and Careers office if you find it as a struggle to put together a professional outfit. Talk with your co-op and career advisor or stop by our office for more information. Overview of appropriate attire. Suits or blazers with ties are encouraged, especially for interviewing. Shirts are always tucked in for interviews. We recommend that you wear minimal jewelry, accessories, and makeup. Dress pants or slacks or khakis are acceptable, but beware, leggings are not considered pants, especially in the context of a job interview. Skirts or dresses should be knee length or longer with tights. And dress shoes, loafers, flats, or sensible heels are appropriate shoes. All shoes should be closed-toed and do not wear transparent clothing, for example, transparent blouses. Clothes should be wrinkle-free, and we recommend that you style your hair away from your face. If you're interviewing in a very casual environment and you have questions about what would be appropriate in that environment, talk with your co-op and career advisor. You still do want to dress the part and show you can dress up when necessary. Here are examples of unprofessional attire. Jeans, shorts, flip-flops, t-shirts, and sneakers are too casual for interviews, even if you'll typically wear casual clothes on the job. Again, acknowledge that this interview is important by dressing up. Also, be thoughtful about what would distract your interviewer. Avoid smoking before the interview. Be subtle with cologne or perfume. Leave the sexy heels at home in favor of more sensible shoes, and limit visible tattoos and piercings. Designers, people in certain majors or disciplines may have questions because you do want to show your unique style. The broad advice is, again, remember you don't want to distract your interviewer. And talk with your co-op and career advisor if you have questions about this. The day of the interview, wear the professional clothing we've just discussed. Come with your 10 questions for the interviewer. Turn off your phone and remove any gum or mints from your mouth as you arrive for your interview. Bring a portfolio with a pad of paper and a pen, extra copies of your resume and cover letters, and one list of your references in case your interviewers request it. In Co-ops and Careers, we have extra portfolios to loan out, so if you would like to borrow one, come see us. Arrive early at your interview location to give yourself some time to settle in. That way you'll have time to step into a restroom or settle down before your interviewer actually comes out to greet you. When you greet your interviewer, use a firm handshake. Practice this before with a friend or your co-op and career advisor so that your handshake is good and firm, but also not bone-crushing. Do your best to remember names throughout your visit. The easiest way to remember names is to ask people for business cards, but if they don't have cards, you can also take note of their names and emails. Because right after the interview, within 12 to 24 hours, you want to follow up. It's a very important opportunity to reinforce your interest in the job, sell yourself one last time, and demonstrate your communication and follow-through skills. Send a personalized message to each individual who participated in the interview process. This note should include any information that was requested from you and a mention of something specific from your conversation. Keep it short and courteous, and be enthusiastic about the opportunity. You shouldn't expect to receive an answer to your thank you email, so asking questions that require a reply really is not recommended. Follow up again 2 weeks after the interview if you haven't heard anything. Use neutral, polite language so that the interviewers are reminded that this is important to you and you're interested, but they aren't annoyed or pressured. For example, you can say, I enjoyed meeting with you on September 15th. I'm still interested in the position and I want to know if there's an update on the hiring process. Or I want to check on the status of the position because I still am very interested. If you interviewed with multiple employers and have decided to accept one job offer, let the other employers know you'll no longer want to be considered for the position. Your first response to any offer of employment should be enthusiastic, even if you privately have doubts. You want the stability of a backup option to fall back on. So don't let the employer detect any reluctance on your part and get doubts about you. Thank them for choosing you. And if you need time to think about it, collect all the details you need about the pay, the hours, other terms of employment, and then ask for some time to consider all the factors involved in making this decision. If there are any loose ends with other companies, if you have any doubts, if you want to talk with your co-op and career advisor before making the decision, use that neutral language. I need some time to think about all the factors involved. You can ask for up to 1 week. The interviewers may need to make need you to make a decision more quickly. Negotiate that with them. And once you've set a deadline for a specific date, maintain the trust you have built with them by keeping that date. Keep that deadline so that your reputation and Wentworth's reputation remains intact. Use your time wisely once you've set that deadline. We can help you to make the decision. You can follow up with any other leads, tell them that you have an offer from another company and you need to decide by a certain date, for example, September 21st, and ask them for an update on the status of their position. Once you have made the decision and accepted an offer, you must stand by that commitment. It will undermine your reputation if you change your mind and back out. Recruiters always remember if something went downhill with a job offer, and it could hurt you in the future. You can maintain your relationship with any other employers where you decided not to take the job by doing them the courtesy of informing them in a timely manner that you accepted another offer and asking if you can stay in touch. You can always connect on LinkedIn, make a point of speaking with them at networking events, and contact them again when you're searching once more. That's everything we have today. Thank you for listening.